Hello, good afternoon. Thank you again. Welcome to another ARPA Talk. I am Donna Mitchell with Aging Advantage. And through the local grants and donations, we offer programs to help with the effects of COVID and other post pandemic situations like housing and food insecurity or isolation. And through this partnership, we provide educational topics that can help promote self care and resilience. And today we have with us Latina Berryhill, and she is going to come to us and speak to us a little bit about understanding um, digital safety without fear. Welcome, Latina. Thank you so much for coming, and it is your floor.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Donna, for having me. I appreciate it. I am excited to talk about cybersecurity, all of the scamming and everything that is going on today. It is important for us to address how to actually stay safe. So, have you guys ever felt overwhelmed or confused or even a little afraid when you're using like your computer or your phone? Well, if the answer is yes, let me be clear. You are in the right place and you are not alone. With everything changing so quickly with technology and just the day-to-day grinds, with all of the moving parts with our smartphones and our smart TVs, and just the hackers, calling us with different scams, we need to know how to actually stay safe. So today is not going to be about how to get better at pressing a button in regard to your phone or your TV or any settings. It is going to be about staying safe, staying calm, and staying in control. And so, again, with technology changing so fast, it changes faster than people actually really realize and how quickly we can actually keep up with it. So, feeling unsure does not mean you are behind. It actually means that you're human. Um, we are going to give you some tips and tricks to actually stay safe, whether you're in your home or you are, just at your friend's house or your family house or an airport or a coffee shop. No matter where you are, you can take different steps to actually stay safe. So let's just go to our next thing. Again, just keep in mind you're never alone. When I'll give you an example. When someone calls and they may ask you for, they may start asking questions and talking rapidly, right? Talking fast, telling you that they're from your bank or from your telephone company. Don't allow them to overwhelm you by them talking fast. Take a moment, think about what they're asking for. Most of the time, your bank is not going to call you. Most of the time, your phone company is not going to call and ask for personal information. So keep things like that in mind. Don't allow them to confuse you with just knowing some of your personal information, because what scammers do is they will try to confuse you with their fast talking. They will try to confuse you with knowing some personal information about you and telling you some good story, which is typically a lie, on why they need to get into your personal account or why they need you to verify certain information. So don't allow just things like that to confuse you. Keep in mind that most of the time, when there is something going on at your bank, they're not going to call you and start asking you to give them your personal information, or if it's your telephone company or anything, again, they're not going to call asking for that. One thing that you can always do whenever you have a doubt about if it's actually a real person calling from a financial institution or somewhere that you actually have accounts with, always tell them that it's not a good time for them. I mean, not a good time for you to talk. Don't answer personal questions, but hang up that call, get the number to whatever institution they're calling from, and call back the actual number that you would typically call. And that's a good way to see if it's actually a scammer, because then you can call the company back, and if they was truly trying to get you, then you can verify it that way. Don't allow them to scam you into giving information when they actually call into you. That's a great way to do it. The other thing is you can always reach out to your family, or a friend, someone you trust, to help you along the way, that can actually do a phone call with you or come to your home and be on speakerphone, and you can actually do the call that way. That way they can help you verify certain things. The other thing that I want to mention is a lot of us use um, the internet. And many times we don't realize that we are connecting to the internet, even when we say we go into a community building. A lot of times when there is internet throughout the building, your phone will automatically connect. And so keeping your phone, and this is a way where you can ask for help again. Believe me, it is okay to ask for help. Knowing how to keep your phone on a mode where it doesn't just automatically connect to any Wi-Fi that you're in like in the proximity, in a distance of a Wi-Fi. If you have your phone on a certain setting, it will automatically connect. And when it connects to just any Wi-Fi, without it being password protected, then you are putting yourself at risk. And that is something we want to stay away from. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Many scammers utilize our telephones, our internet connections with the computer or in our homes to actually get into our personal information. And how they do that is they will utilize the internet connection by it being an open internet connection. So if you are connected to the internet, and you don't have to actually put a password into your internet to connect, then that means you are putting yourself at risk, because just like you can get into that internet connection, everyone else can as well. And so it's just a simple but yet very effective way to keep someone from hacking into your phone or your computer, by always remembering, if you are using internet, use an internet that is password protected. It's it's what I say, one of the simple things that we can use to keep us protected, but it's one of the most effective things. Maybe simple, but it's a very, very effective way. Remember, asking for help is actually a strength. Use the wisdom of that. It truly is a strength and not a weakness. And I'll give you just an example. This is what I do day in and day out, cybersecurity and technology. And someone actually hacked into my phone from a text that I was communicating with one of my friends that was on an airplane. She was using the airplane's Wi-Fi that was not password protected. And so as I'm texting her, the hackers got into her phone and started to text me. And if I had not realized that the words that they were using is not certain things that my friend would say, I would have continued to communicate it with the scammer. And that's how they get into like other people's networks, just by something as simple as hacking into, my friend's phone. So just be on alert. Keep things in mind, because as they got into my phone, I actually reached out to my internal IT over the weekend, and just said, "Hey, I need help." Again, this is what I do day in and day out, but I did not know how to get them out of my phone on a permanent basis. And I'm raising my hand. If I don't know, I'm raising my hand saying, "Hey, help me," because I just don't know. And that's what I mean by ask for help. It is okay. None of us know everything about technology, and it changes so quickly. We will never know everything. So don't feel like it's a weakness just because you have to ask for help. It's actually a strength. It's a huge strength when you can be okay with asking for help. It'll keep you safe. It really will. It will keep you safe. So as we move on, I have a couple of other things that I want to just highlight. What does digital safety really mean? So let's start with the first bullet here, feeling calm when you're using the phone. Knowing and asking questions, knowing different tips like the internet thing. Many people feel embarrassed when they're asking for help for technology. Please don't. Um, you'll see the kids that are able to navigate technology better than we can as adults. And again, this is my business, but I am surprised at how this generation of kids and just young adults are able to navigate around our telephones and our computers better than we can. So feel comfortable as an adult with asking, how can you help me here? And knowing that even when we change phones or when new features come out on our phones, it's okay for us to not know everything about it and to feel comfortable with actually allowing someone else to show us how to use different things on our phone or how to keep us safe because it can be confusing. There's so many things that's changing, so many features that we have now on our telephones and on our computers that we want to make sure that we are, again, asking questions, but also knowing that things are going to continue to change. So be okay with asking or allowing someone to help us with feeling comfortable as we are utilizing our digital devices. Knowing when something feels off. So, as I was talking about when someone calls you and they're asking for personal information, or if say you're using your phone or your computer and you keep getting, I don't know, some type of weird message that's popping up. Anything that feels out of the norm, pay attention to it. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's just, I need to reset my phone or I need to restart my computer. But you never want to take it for granted. So just pay attention to it. Don't think it's just nothing. It's better to be safe than it is to be sorry. Protecting yourself, protecting your identity, protecting your money, those are huge things. We want to keep our personal information as safe as possible. So if you have on your phone a login, a way to be able to get into your bank account, a way to get into any type of financial institution, please make sure you have multiple levels of security on that device that you keep your personal information on. Because if someone hacks into that device, they will get your personal information. A couple of things that I'll point out, that's ways that people, scammers are now getting in is if you are on social media, you see an ad, say you're scrolling social media, you're looking at different posts. If you see an ad, do not click on it. Don't click on ads. If you are interested in what they're showing on the ad, look at, where that ad is actually coming from, and then get out of that particular social media app and go to like your Google and then type in that particular website, but don't click on that ad. The reason why I say that is because many of the ads that's listed on social media, they have what's called a malware that's behind the ad. And so what that means is once you click on that ad, there is something with behind the ad that will automatically capture your information. And once you click on it, it's giving scammers permission to actually log into your phone and to capture like your passwords and all types of personal information that we would have no idea that you clicking that particular ad is giving someone permission to hack into your phone. It's the craziest thing, but that's the world that we live in. And so the way to keep us safe is, again, be very, very careful about anything that you're clicking on, any type of personal information that you're having on your telephone or your computer, any digital device. Be very careful that you have protection, security protection on those devices so that no one can actually just get into your device and steal your information. So be careful not to click on different ads, not to just click on different things that you actually see. Keeping your personal life private is top priority. So if you look at like your credit scores or your banking information online, one thing that we tell, because we work with different institutions, the FBI, things like that, to help companies and people stay as safe as possible. If you have access to your credit reports, lock them. You can always unlock them if you are, trying to buy a vehicle, trying to buy a house, trying to get a credit card. You can unlock them for the moment, but keep them locked and tell your family members, your children, the same thing. Keep your private information as private as possible. Be careful about what you're sharing over the phone or even in person. There's another thing when you are out, you're using your debit card, be careful about that. Something that officers and detectives and the FBI, they are very adamant about because they see a lot of hacking and a lot of people losing or being a part of identity theft from going to restaurants and going to different shopping stores, and they are utilizing their debit card instead of a credit card. So if you're swiping, even if it's online purchasing, use a credit card instead of a debit card because the credit card companies will lock things. They will fight for you. They will go after. It's easier to dispute than to losing your funds. I'm sorry, than actually putting your funds in your bank account at risk because once someone gets access to your banking information, that's a whole level that you just don't want to expose yourself to. So make sure it's better to be safe than sorry. It doesn't matter, who's asking for your information. Just always double check. It's just easier to stay safe and to stay on top of things like that. So, um, a couple more things that I just want to point out in regard to scammers and how they target people. They, if they're reaching out to you, especially by phone, they will try to rush you through something. They talk fast. They'll try to put some urgency around it. They will try to make you feel like it's very, very important that you do something right in the moment, unless you're going to lose this or you're going to do that. And most of the time, it's a scam. If they're trying to rush you, 9 times out of the 10, it's a scam. Don't let them scare you. There's a lot of things that's going around now where scammers will call and they'll say they have one of your family members. And if you don't send them this amount of money within a certain time frame, they're going to do something horrible, and harm your family member. Um, I have seen, and these are through FBI reports and different stats that we have, 97% of the time, these type of phone calls are scammers. They pretend to want to help you, or they pretend to want to, harm one of your family members. No, do not give them personal information. The best thing for you to do is reach out to the authorities because the police or reach out to a family member that can help you navigate these things. Do not provide information to them. Do not transfer money. It doesn't matter what they tell you, just don't do it. One of a helpful thing that we have been suggesting is to have a code word for your family. And so if you get a phone call and someone is telling you that if you don't transfer the money right away, or if you don't, do a certain thing, they're going to harm your family member. If Always ask to speak to that family member. And if they can't put that family member on the line, and that family member can't provide that safe word, then you know that it's a scam. Um, Obviously, if your family member really is in harm, they're not going to provide that safe word. And so, what you could do is you could hang up with them or call from a different line or reach out to your family member and say, "Hey, is this you calling me?" And they provide the safe word for you. It's just a way to make sure that you and your family or your friends stay connected and stay out of harm's way when it comes to all the scams and things like that these hackers are now using every type of trick and trap to get whatever funds that they can from you, and then they just disappear. And most of the time, authorities are not able to locate them. Don't let them pressure you. It doesn't matter. Like, they will use baby crying noises and all different kinds of things in the background to really kind of throw you off or to make you nervous and all kinds of things. People will have videos and things like that online. They're able to capture people's voices. They are able to make videos using people's faces now. There's all types of things that they are using. So use every single precaution you possibly can to stay safe. Some of the common scams or things that I just mentioned, right? The fake bank accounts, they are utilizing Medicare and our health companies, the Cignas and the Humanas, to call and say, to pretend that they are actually with these organizations. Um, because again, once they get any type of report that you have accounts with a particular bank, or this is your healthcare company, they will call and pretend to be those people. So just keep that in mind. These organizations typically don't call. They will send notifications through the mail first before they actually call. So just be on high alert with anything that you are doing, any type of phone calls or communication that you're getting, even with emails. It's always better to hang up and reach out to these organizations directly, because if they're really trying to reach you, when you reach out directly, they will tell you why they're trying to reach you. Don't allow someone to call you, get personal information, and then you provide something or send them money, and they're no longer traceable. The other thing that they are utilizing is saying that if you send money, then we'll give you this, you have to send, I don't know, $1,000. And if you send $1,000, we'll give you 5,000 in return, or they'll make up this, big thing in regard to a prize that you're getting, but you have to send money up front. There is no prize. There is no gift card. There's no type of thing that's a good thing, right? There's nothing that someone can call and offer you where you are winning something or gaining something financially, where you have to pay for it to get it. So don't ever send someone money just to get a prize or just to gain some type of, financial gift, because those are always scams. And again, it's untraceable. Once you actually send them funds, it's gone. The banks, the FBI, the police, they're not going to be able to trace it. So please, please, please do your homework. Check every single thing. Don't just give your personal information out, no matter it's phone, email, text, whatever that is. Be very, very cautious and try your best to utilize a credit card instead of a debit card. I hope these tips are helpful for you. Um, don't get like, if you feel like something is wrong, or if you feel like someone is trying to be a little tricky, keep in mind those type of feelings are usually warnings. So pause, don't panic, stay calm, and just always double check it is okay, to ask for help. Keep that in mind. Always ask. It is certainly okay to ask for help, no matter if it is a friend or family member. Have someone that you can trust that can help you, and make sure that you don't feel bad or confused about being or asking for help, because we all need help, no matter your age, no matter what. It is okay, because none of us know everything. It is okay to not understand technology, because it's going to continue to change, and we can all utilize help at some point. I think I gave you a lot of tips today. Hopefully, those are extremely helpful for you in staying safe, keeping your identity safe, keeping your financial safe. We don't want you to be exposed to the scams that are out here today. And again, they will continue to change. They will continue to get more and more complicated and sophisticated. And we want to do everything possible to make sure you guys are on top of it, and staying as safe as possible. So, Donna, any questions for me?
There, yeah, there are a few questions. First of all, I wanted to say again, thank you so much, Latina Berryhill, Vice President of NetGain Technologies, for coming in today to help educate us, as well as our seniors and those with a disability that we serve. Such a great wealth of information, very important for this day and time, as you stated. Yes, because we do have a lot of people that experience pretty much what you just talked about. And I know this is going to be something very good and meaningful to so many people in their lives. So um, let's go to the question number one.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. It says, okay, what do you think it is that people feel ashamed? Well, let me see. Why do you think it is, and why should no one ever feel ashamed? So, why do you think they shouldn't feel ashamed, or you know, to ask questions or to reach out? And the reason I'm saying this, and I'm sure this person probably is saying this because of the community that we serve, being mainly seniors, and most people know, or there's kind of like the the thing about seniors that's out there, a lot of times they're kind of stuck in their ways type, so to speak, people say, or they'll just say they're kind of settled, and it's hard for them to trust people, so they're just like, this is how I've been doing, and this is how I've been going, and it's keeping me safe, and I don't care about that. So what's your take with that?
So I think many people um, can get embarrassed or be ashamed to ask questions because technology can be overwhelming. Um, it is always changing. It can be intimidating. And I shared the story about having to ask for help, right? This is what I do. And I still have to ask for help from my IT guys, because I want people to understand that even though this is what I do on a daily basis, I still ask for help. We will never know everything. Technology changes every single day. The scammers get more and more creative every single day. And being stuck in our ways will expose us to having our identity stolen. It will expose us to have our money stolen. And so I just want the senior communities to be open to finding someone that they can trust to say, hey, I got this phone call, or hey, I don't know how to use this, or do I have enough protection on my device, or how do I turn off, that thing that the lady mentioned, to so I don't connect to internet automatically when I'm going into, a place that has internet. when they get comfortable enough to just not feel ashamed or embarrassed, then it keeps them safer. And I want them to know technology is definitely not a bad thing. It's here to support us, right? It's
Yeah,
here, to make our lives easier. But we have to realize that because there's so much with technology, we have to get comfortable with saying, can you help me understand how to do it? Or can you help me with ways to just keep myself safe because I want to use technology, right? They want to use
yeah,
their phones, they want to use their computers, but we also want to make sure that they are safe at the same time. And I want them to know, no matter what age you're at, it does not matter. It is okay to ask questions because none of us know everything about technology or how to always keep us ourselves safe. We are all at the risk of being exposed. And so please don't feel embarrassed or ashamed for asking for help. I do it all the time.
great. Thank you so much. One more question, if you will. What are the most common scams affecting seniors and people with disabilities today?
So right here, it's really the ones that I talked about. So it's the phone
Okay.
calls where people are pretending to call from your bank or your healthcare company or your telephone company. And banks usually just don't call you. If there's an issue, they're going to send you something through the mail or an email, something official. And so when you're getting a phone call, that's like the number one thing is phone calls. And then they're convincing our seniors and others, right, to send them money. And banks just will not do that. Your
Okay.
telephone company won't do that. Like, don't give your personal information out over the phone. If someone calls you and they say that they are from, an institution that you are doing business with, hang up the phone and call the place back directly. And that way you'll be able to find out if they really are trying to reach you. But those are the big ones, phone calls, and then people pretending that they have one of your family members. And if you don't, and they're in harm's way. And if you don't pay whatever they call a ransom, if you don't pay that, then they're going to harm your family member. And a lot of
Wow.
times it's just, technology that they've used to capture your family member's voice or their
Wow.
face. So don't allow those scams to actually, hit you and get you, just anxious or whatever. Stay as calm as possible and keep these things in mind that 97% of the time it is a scam.
Wow. And that's something that is, oh, sometimes kind of mind blowing. And the thing about it, as I'm listening to you, Latina, it sounds like I guess they have to be smart. These are some really intelligent people because to come up with the idea to say, okay, we're going to pretend as if we are one of the trusted people because if you bank with somebody, come on now, you got to trust them, right? You're not just
Yeah.
going to bank with anybody. You're not just going to, I'm not a banker, so you're not going to just going to trust me with your money to keep it. No, you're going to go to a trusted person or trusted business and your telephone company, your bank and your insurance. These are people that they know you trust. So
Yeah.
I can identify or kind of understand why they target the seniors because first of all, seniors are not easily, well, sometimes they're not so easily to break through that wall with them. So if we use something or somebody that they trust and that they know that they love, we can get them. And that's
Yeah.
usually, like you say, then that makes sense then why they use those particular things. But coming on today, hearing and listening, and I'm sure others that listen to you and hear this is going to be something that's going to help them to protect them and to remember, when they are faced with these different situations. Hopefully, this conversation comes back to mind to them and help them to say, okay, you know what? Let me stop here. If they're rushing me or they're seeming like they're antsy about this, they're more excited about this than me. And I just told them I want to take some time and think about it, but they for some reason just won't release me, you know what? This is a good time for me to even hang up the phone, you know?
That's right. Absolutely. Hang up the phone. It's okay to hang up on them. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I've started doing. You know, you get phone calls nowadays for so many different people and organization. Well, I wouldn't say so many different, or well, yeah, even two, so many organizations, and some of them are legitimate, you know, but because these scammers are taking these real numbers now, they don't come up always as scam anymore, you know, they come
Mhm.
up as a real person that could be right there in your neighborhood, their phone number, that's an area code close to yours, and you're thinking it's somebody, okay, I must know them with this phone number, and then they have a name even as well, and it's like, okay, I can't think off the top of my head this John Doe, but evidently they're calling me, so I must know him. So you pick up, you know, and before long you're in a conversation with them. It's they're trying to sell you something. They're just trying to get information from you. So this is so crazy, but this was so good to know and have, and so informative today. I just can't thank you enough for this, bringing this great knowledge and wealth of information to us so that we can help the community that we serve, continue to help them to gain the knowledge that they need to continue to live their lives just as successfully as they've been doing, and safe as they've been doing, and want to continue. So again, we thank you very much for coming and for sharing with us today. Let me just check one more time. I don't think there are any more questions now, but I do know that we're back on a little bit. What is that? 15, 19 minutes from now. We're back on. So please come back and join us again. Latina Berryhill's coming right back with us to give us some more knowledge and more information. So if you love this one, please come back again. We'll see you guys soon. And again, Latina, thank you so much. We'll see you shortly, hon.
Okay. Thank you.